Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4, and it is time for another reverse DrAce time trial challenge here, this time in the Nurburgring with the Kawasaki ZX7RR EM from 1996. So the goal of today's video is to beat Sergio 23's time of a 1:25.792, but I do have to give a special mention to KawiGabe for starting off this entire challenge with hitting a 1:27.268 in this wonderful circuit, challenging me and the aces to defeat the lap time. So without further ado, let's crack on. So just to mention as well, this is the Nurburgring Sprintstreke, so it's not entirely the full circuit, but it does contain some amazing corners here in this half circuit of the Nurburgring. I do really enjoy this one, so great suggestion from KawiGabe, and another shout out to another fine ace, Sergio23, for making this specific livery for another ace in our Discord server. So if you are interested in competing with the aces and joining the challenges and joining the ranks of the fastest riders within my DrAce server, you can join with the link down in the description below. There's a link tree available for you. Click on that link and it'll take you to everything relevant to Dr. Ace. But for the time being, we need to crack on with the actual lap time. We know what lap time we have to beat, and I also know this bike extremely well. I'm a big fan of the ZX7RR, especially the EM version. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, 146 miles we've done on this magnificent motorcycle, and with a fine livery such as this one that Sergio has made, you can guarantee we're going to be doing some pretty fast laps here in the Nurburgring. But to mention that soft tyre that I did choose, I'd experimented a little bit with the tyres and I did go for a soft front, and you can see it is struggling a hell of a lot, so I'll probably complete this lap and change the tyre over, because I very much doubt I'm going to survive another lap in this very abrasive circuit with a front tyre that is already screaming by going into the Coca-Cola curve on the very first lap. So across the line we're going to go any moment now on the back straight. Is this going to be enough to take the top position? It isn't, but we do actually dethrone KawiGabe's time from second place already on the leaderboard. Now, of course, Mad Max was actually in second place, but he's using the Yamaha, so this is the Kawasaki ZX7RR challenge, so this is what we're going to be tackling from, because I think the Yamaha might be a little bit better here and there, so I'm not sure yet. Maybe that's going to be there for another video at some point. Stay tuned, who knows. But I have now indeed changed for the hard front and the medium rear combination. It's a combination I've used a heck of a long time, and I still probably will to the end of Ride 4. I just find it's a really good combination for myself. But as we now go firm on the brakes going into the right-hander, this corner gives me a little bit of trouble, I won't lie. It's a bit of a tough one, especially getting it into the corner and then without sliding it too much on the exit upon leaving that corner. But now into the Michelin curve, nice and tight to the apex there for turn 4. Very, very important to get tight as close as possibly can onto some of these apexes, because you have to get the exact line right to earn a bit of time. And when you do a short track, there's less time to be gained. If you're doing a longer track, there's more time to be gained because there's more opportunities to gain. But when it's small and short and a bit of a sprint, you better believe it's a little bit tougher. But we do tackle the NGK chicane with pretty comfortable ease as we now go on the right hand side for the Coca-Cola curve. Do not touch the wall there. I did that on a run early on in this particular video and it wasn't pretty, but we'll now bring on the acceleration going underneath the BMW M Power sign. And are we going to take top position? It's going to be good. It's a 1:25.939, so not quite yet. We've still got a bit more to go, and I think we've got a bit more left in us as well, because this is just my second lap. We're getting very, very close. I do aim to get this one roughly around 10 laps, something like that, 12 laps, depending on however I feel comfortable with the motorcycle and how much I really enjoy this challenge. And I've got to say, I really did enjoy this challenge. It was one of the best ones I had in quite a while, so massive thank you to KawiGabe. And the idea behind the DrAce challenges are also always awesome and very, very enjoyable, but the reverse ones are extra special because I'm the one who's being challenged in these situations. It's not me challenging you guys. I feel like you guys are ganging up on me and taking it to the ace himself, which is absolutely awesome. I really love doing these particular challenges. But now we're going on the right hand side for the Warsteiner curve. Can be a tough one to get right, that one. I don't think I ever found the exact correct way to go into it, and I've mentioned this to the aces within the Discord server, that the final corner and the Warsteiner curve is just two corners that sort of give me a bit of jib here in this wonderful circuit. But of course, with the chicane, I don't think it's that hard as long as you get the braking marker correct. I'll show you on the next lap exactly where you want to be looking to brake in that corner, so if you are struggling with that particular section, I can give you some guides and some pointers on how to improve your lap time. But bringing on the acceleration now, we're pretty much neck and neck with the Ghost. We might improve but not by much. We move up to a 125.902, so still plenty to do in this one as we go very hard on the brakes for the hard hack and super tight on the brakes and super tight to the apex. And also be very, very careful that in this challenge I was running 0 traction control and 0 anti-wheelie. So for some of those corners I do have to be very, very careful and gentle with the accelerations. The change of direction into 2, for example, going into the Mercedes arena, can be very treacherous if you're not careful with the acceleration. I think I gave up too many lap times with a wheelie going into that particular corner. I think even my fastest lap time had a little bit of a wheelie in it as well. And I don't mean your style wheelie where you kick out the back leg, I'm talking the accidental one where you're just bringing on too much acceleration and next thing you know the bike goes woof straight up into your face. So, but upon that note, we're doing pretty well going into the Warsteiner curve. Whether this is going to be enough to take the top spot begs to be found, so we're going into the Advenbogen and preparing ourselves. As you see that little bit of track to the right hand side there, a little bit of pathway that's going off track, you want to be aiming for that every single time to brake. If you can get a good feeling of when you're approaching that bit of pathway, you'll get a good feeling of when to start braking. You can brake really abruptly there or bring on the brakes a little bit more gentle just before it. It's entirely up to you. I kind of went for a bit of a mixture, if you will. Sometimes I want to really brake firmly and sometimes I want to go a little bit softer. But discussing now the actual lap time, you've seen that we improved once again to a 125.830, so just 4 laps into it we are eking ever so close to Sergio 23's lap time. It's just a matter of time when we actually finally pull the trigger and go for it. It's just waiting for that moment to actually appear. But now onto the left hand side for Mercedes Arena, we do actually get ahead of the Ghost. I've mentioned this before and I'm going to mention it again. I'm not a fan of the Ghost, but I'll leave it on for you guys because I think you guys enjoy seeing it and enjoy seeing the sort of battle with the silhouette of DrAce. But for me, I'd rather turn it off, but you guys are more important than my preference regarding the Ghost. But this lap has got a good feel to it. We are pretty much neck and neck with the Ghost, very, very close, but I do know where I can gain a bit of time by just being a little bit more confident. The Warsteiner curve I do feel has a lot of time to be offered, and I tried going wide, I tried going tighter, but I couldn't really find exactly where it's going to be. But nice and tight to the apex here for the Advenbogen. Keep an eye on the right hand side. Literally there it is, bang. I'm going to start braking onto the left hand side, and bearing in mind that last lap that we did make a hash going into that corner, and I've pretty much just rumbled my way over the rumble strip, going all wibbly wobbly straight over it, full on bang, and that actually saved us quite a significant amount of time. So this could be the lap to put us into the top position. So bringing on the acceleration, charging down the back straight, this could potentially be the fastest lap for the leaderboard, and it certainly is. The 125.490 goes to the way of DrAce, another world record which I'm temporarily going to hold, no doubt, because I'm sure Sergio 23 will see red when he sees this one. I'm not talking regarding the MotoGP Z Kawasaki. I'm thinking more that he's going to go, right, challenge accepted, DrAce. And of course, if you are enjoying these challenges and you want to be part of these, as I mentioned before, come and join the Discord server, or even just tackle these in your own time and let me know of your lap times and share them with me, because I'm keen to see how you get on just as much as you're keen to see how I get on. So I would implore you to subscribe if you want to be a part of these DrAce time trial challenges. We're now onto the left hand side, going in to the left hander for Michelin curve. We are up a little bit by the Ghost, but you can see the Ghost retaliated there, and I got a little bit twitchy on acceleration, kind as if an AI was approaching and he was going to bump me. And that's probably why I'm not a fan of the Ghost. I treat them like real riders, as we just touched the grass there ever so slightly, sent the ZX7RR just a little bit out of whack and a little bit out of kilter, and also a little bit too gentle on the brakes. You can see the Ghost there as we get a massive wheelie. Goodness me, almost wheelied into oblivion there, but we still stay on board the ZX7RR. Now going into the final corner, going for that tighter apex. Can we bring on the acceleration just a little bit too early there? You've seen that fraction of power brought on was just enough to kick the rear wheel out, and that will lose us time. So across the line we do not improve, but I'm still happy with that lap time. It was very close to improving, and at this point I'm not actually pushing ridiculously hard. I'm still quite comfortable. I'm in my groove now, I'm in the rhythm, and I was really enjoying this part, because by the time I'd finished I didn't even realise how many laps it had been of just being pretty firm and consistent. But that last lap was obviously the one to beat, and we would have improved upon it if we didn't make that mistake going into the chicane, having the large wheelie, braking that little bit too early. Not quite ideal, but even with the hard front, it is still pretty warm right now on that front. The temperature is glowing. It's that warm, so we're going to have to be very careful, especially going into the likes of the Warsteiner curve and then going into the chicane. The tyre will cool down just a little bit on the approach to the chicane, but I don't think it'll be enough to make sure that we can really hit the brakes very, very firm going into that very tough chicane. And I think I said chicane too many times there, so I'm not going to use that for the next corner. We're going to go in hard on the brakes just upon the arrival of the pathway, and we're going to go into the flip-flop section to the left, to the right. Didn't want to use the word chicane there, and I used it anyway, but whoa! Practically cutting across the corner there and onto the rumble strip, even upon the yellow part, but we still didn't gain that much time compared to the Ghost. So as we bring on the acceleration, I'm going to go for that little wide line. Don't touch the sand there. I've done that for many years now. It feels like many years at least, but I've done that once again. But across the line, we do actually improve to a 1:25.488. So the lap time again, so similar to the lap prior, and that fast lap from earlier on, that 1:25.48 or 1:49, sorry, remained for at least 2 laps. So now we're just being beaten by 0.2 thousandths of a second. We just touched the rumble strip. That's kind of scuppered our chances on this particular lap as we go really tight to the apex once more for the Mercedes Arena, and now onto the right hand side, tight again to the apex as we bring on the acceleration. And unfortunately we have just invalidated the lap, so I'm going to show you how much you can push in that particular corner. And there's just something I want to have a bit of a heart-to-heart with you now and tell you. This lap looked a bit awful. It looked a little bit scary in a few moments. We had another moment there coming out of turn 3. We've invalidated the lap, but I'm still going. And it's very important that you continue to go, in my opinion, because just because the lap time is going to be invalidated, it doesn't mean that you should just give up. When the lap is invalidated, you have complete carte blanche to do whatever you want. You are not constricted by worrying about if you're going to ruin the lap time. You have no inhibitions. It's literally, the lap's been invalidated, so what? Don't worry about it. Just continue to push. And you'll be really surprised what you can figure out when your lap time's invalidated. So for me, this lap has been awful. Absolutely awful. But we are still really close to the Ghost there. And yet we made so many mistakes. So that just gives you momentum to know that, hang on, we have a lot more to give here. It's just piecing it together. So best advice I can give you, just because you invalidate the lap, don't panic, don't freak out, and don't give up. I've got a massive wheelie coming out of turn 2 there, going into the Mercedes Arena, and we're still going. Just because that first little moment just kind of puts you off and you're like, restart it, that's it, done. Don't do it. You're going to get yourself annoyed, you're going to get angry. Just keep on pushing. The front tyre right now is absolutely bloody glowing, and we're still not giving up. We're still going. We're still pushing. You got to. The momentum keep on going. And that's the best way to stay consistent as well. So heart to heart, kind of over right now, but I appreciate you letting me bend your ear for a couple of seconds. But into the Michelin curve, we do make a mistake, and unfortunately, I think this lap time is kind of done, and I really don't think that front tyre is going to hang on anymore, and I think I'm happy with the lap times as it is, and I would like to give the Aces a chance to beat this particular lap time, so I think I will call this one the last lap. But honestly, I really wanted to get that off my chest and tell you about invalidating laps, because I think it was important, because we had a pretty bad lap on this one, but you got to keep on pushing. So definitely do it. And I went into the final corner with a bit of rear swagger as we went to the rear brake there quite abruptly. And now I'm trying to give you a nice funky wheelie, but I couldn't. I just had a terrible time trying to get this ZX7RR to give me a nice funky wheelie. But there it is, across the line. We did take the world record, and now it is down to you. So on my screen right now, you can see all the lap times I've done and all the sector times on the screen right now. So as you can see, the actual ideal lap time is a 1:25.2. Plenty more to go. We aren't that far away from getting into the 1:24, so who knows. And I want to take another little moment to have a look at the actual consistency from lap 5 to lap 9. We were really good in that particular part. So with that consistency of getting 1:25.5 5 times in a row has given me a lot of motivation. So confirmations on your screen, guys. DrAce at the top of the leaderboard with the Kawasaki ZX7RR in the Sprintstreke. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you do want to take part of this, let me know. Drop me in the comment section down below and let me know what lap times you get. More than happy to compete with you all as long as it will ever take. But upon that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button and also consider subscribing as well. And upon that note, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.